white can play with the Nf3 and what are the different responses. So this is the knight F3 opening. I'll start with the white. Yeah, so this actually the reason for playing knight F3 is basically we are just stopping white black's option, because if you go with the D4 here, you, the white black can play E5, and that's the gambit. So we are trying to avoid here with the knight F3 move order. So basically, knight F3 opening is used for the strategic player, like whoever wants a very aggressive game. I don't suggest that knight F3 they can go with that, because they can stick to their regular opening knight D4. So the reason with knight F3 is to stop your gambit. I don't know, there is something called gambit here. If you go with the D4, there is a gambit. I don't know what is its name. Some gambit is there. This one. So that's the reason we'll start with the knight F3. So the standard response for knight F3 is knight F6, and then G6, G6. These are pretty standard. Black will try to convert into the regular game. They think that it can convert it into King's Indian defense, also Tarash, plus the Queen's Gambit declined. So these are the regular openings. So we'll just go through one by one. Now E5 is out of the picture. He can't go because we can immediately take it. So let's go with the D5. That's a pretty much very standard response we can see, because the idea of chess opening is the control your center. Now, since I am stopping E5, so now he has a D4 option to open, so he can immediately go to the D5 here. Yeah, and the reason is I don't want to go with the D4 here. Uh, there is the reason is the bishop F5, and that's a Slav, which which I don't like that opening. But I will show you the pretty much standard setup what we can go here. And you can just go through G3 here. And let's say if he's just try to go with the again standard setup, if black goes with the standard setup, then you can still go to the, then let's say if you try to go to the Queen's Gambit, now the D5, and you can just go to now, let's say E6. This is a very standard setup. Yeah, and so this is that's what you can directly play it. So this is again it converts to your standard opening. So I'll just go through one by one here now. Knight F3, D5, G3, Knight F6, Bishop G2, E6. You can castle here, Bishop E7, C4, and if you just takes here, then okay, yeah, black has an option to just castle. Now you go here, and when you take, you can go knight e5. So this is a pretty much standard opening. That's the Catalan one. And now black has a different options. You can just play knight c6 here. So this is again we reach to the standard opening, but the move order is different here. So you can again go one more time. So with the knight f3 is like you know what setup you have to acquire, irrespective of what black is going to do. So you are pretty much very clear that what is you're going to do on the each target. So you don't need to worry about the initial gambits here. Yeah, so let me go through the back here. This is the standard setup now. Yeah, now black has the choice. Now here, if you just take with the bishop and then you take with the knight, you can win your pawn back. But the reason is the black will have two bishop here, which is not good, because then this diagonal entire diagonal will be weak. So here in this case, you can take it, and when you take, don't take it, because now these two pawns are very weak. It's not like black is no, white has huge advantage here, but the black has very straight plan here, because now he can just pile up on the c file and try to capture like on the c pawns. So now he can just go to knight a3, and if he just take here, the best move for black is giving up this black bishop and take the knight. Because if he allowed here, then you have very good hold on the C file, and I don't think so. Black is like, it will be tough for black to protect the C, entire the C file. So if let's say black decided not to give up this bishop and we play knight rook b8, then you can just simply go to knight c4 and then pile up here. Like then if you try to you can just take this, and it's like very tough because you have this queen a c4, bishop c5, rook e1. So it's a very good setup for the white. So that is how one of the standard response for the black here uh, with this knight f3 move. Yeah, so the best move here is black 2. Just check this one, and if you just take here, and then now at least black is giving his bishop, but again he is white is compromising with all his pawn structure. But still, white has a very good chances because he can still attack on this open file, and these all weak. If if let's say white try to capture these pawns, and even though at the end, if you could say one pawn which can be a passer, so white has a very good chance here, which can again put a lot of pressure here. So this is one of the response, the standard response black has is against the knight f3. So that's the whole idea here. So do you guys have any question on this or anything like what are the different responses or what is the best response again before?
Uh, Bhavu,
Yeah.
I think you finished first of all your theory, and in the last we'll take the questions. I think.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so now let's say the now second response here, I'm just sticking to the d5 only, d5 move order. Let's say blacks wanted to go very aggressive because since white did not hold on the center, now he just wanted to go aggressive. Now you cannot castle here because if you castle here, it will be mistake because again, as a white, I would still believe that white needs to hold the center and he won't need to play for the initiative because white is one who is pressing for a win here. So in this case, if I just play this, then black can play d4, and then he has a very good chance he can hold all these pawns and try to push white. So in this case you need to defend this and convert this into the terrace. So again, we are following the knight f3 move order, but the end we are going to go with the standard setup, not only like the rati or some kind of stuff. It's not so, but so this is the reason is starting with the knight f3 to stopping some gambit lines. So here you just go with the d4, and then black will just try to again press it. You can simply castle here, e6, c4, bishop e7, then you just take it, you take it, and then this is again a standard Tarash. So it still shows the King Indian attack, but this is all standard Tarash. So you can see this on the castle, it changed the name here, Tarash Defense. So that's one of the again, that response. The main response here, like very annoying for me at least, is bishop f5 and c6 and e6. That is like black wanted to go into the reverse London system, which is I think most of the player play that because that's I think I believe Slav and semi-Slav is a very good opening for a black side. But in this case, if you just play a regular Slav, which I don't like it. So basically, what I suggest here is just castle for now, and let's see what black is going to do. Again, he can't extend because we get a c5. This is not good structure for him to hold it because he can't extend too much. So when I castle here, he could go to c6 and think that this is going to be a Slav. But again, you go to the d3 here, e6 and hit on the c4. Again, we're trying to get our center again. Let's say he thinks, like, let's save this bishop because when I attack, he wants to the room for his bishop to go back. Now here in this case, you take this is again, it's not all sideline. There are standard lines. I will show there are a number of games here. Let's say if you go there, you go knight c6, pressing here, and bishop e7. You can see there are like number of games being played here, and you can see on the database there is a what is the percentage of white can press for winning here. So you can just go d4, and the idea for white here is this the e4 move and again take the center. So that's whole idea on this knight f3 setup. That is how you can play. Yeah, I still believe that this is not the like standard like sideline, but again this is very playable for white. The reason is that we wanted to stop this entire diagonal for the white bishop. So that's our whole idea. That's Slav. So again, there is another setup. That's the King's Indian defense. Here we will start with the knight f3, knight f6. We have to start with the d4. Now we can't go on the g3 here because then it will be like symmetrical opening, and black can it's like black can achieve equality on the like move fifth or sixth. So we don't want to do it again. We can go just c4 here. Now let's say if he just he can go to g6, and now you press on the knight c3 because we want to stop this. Let's say he decided to take a now and wanted to convert to the Grunfeld. Now you can just chop this, and on knight d5 you can go to queen b3, and on the very standard setup in the Grunfeld is take here. But now you don't need to take with your pawn. You have very good move here. See, stopping this diagonal. Now he has to play this, and then you can just simply go ahead and push in the center. So that is again you can solve. So it's all about the move order, how you trick it, because as a chess player is if you see the corpo right, he always work on the propel axis. Means he is thinking what my opponent is going to play if I do this. He's not going with his plan. You just stop his plan first and then attack. The chess is like everybody know it's a mental game. So you stop the opponent plans and then you execute your plan rather than you are going with your plan. So that is one of the strategy you can use for win. So he can't go on the d5. He'll go to the bishop d4. Now you go on the standard setup. This is the very standard setup on the King's Indian. He has to play d6 and d4. He'll castle here, bishop e2. If you see, this is a King Indian defense, pretty standard setup. Yeah, but I would like to play the opening is the Petrosian defense, d5 here. Now, if I now the see, this is not that great opening, but there are a lot of games you can see it. But only reason is that the black player who is preparing for the King's Indian, he is not expecting this one, and it has a very standard setup here, and you can it's easily remember. For example, on the d5, you can just now he will play a5 because he wanted to get his knight on this diagonal. Bishop g7. The immediate move is s6. I was playing the game with the grandmaster, and I was not expecting that he doesn't know the theory, because you know what, and I was winning that game. I was playing in with the grandmaster, and you know what, he just played knight bd7. This is not the great thing, but you know this is a theoretical mistake, because on the bd7, black has this opening, knight d2, and now h6, you get bishop e3. Now you are controlling everything here. There is a very subtle difference here. You know, on this one, you can't, on h6, you can't go bishop e3 because knight g5 will come. And then you have to go back and he can immediately push it. But here, on g6, you have to go to, on s6, you have to go to bishop g4 and bishop g3, and then you play here. But we ultimately, we want our bishop to control this diagonal because the knight is going to come here. So, so really, and I was winning that game, but only I lost on the time control because I had two extra pieces, but he put on the mate, and I had only like, that was the time control. I had only 1 minute, and he had like, 5 minutes. So that's the reason I lost that game, but I was winning with that grandmaster. So he played knight bd. If you play knight bd7 here, yeah, let's go to the standard s6, bishop g5, knight bd7, knight e2, because we want to make sure this, see the reason what we are trying to do here. We are trying to avoid this setup because he got f5 and then white will get a lot of attacks. So that's the reason. Before castling here, h6, knight bd7, now you go knight e2 here. Okay, we don't want to get pushed, so now he can't put it here. Now you just castle, knight s6, trying to pressurize. You can just simply castle. Again, he can't put it, and he there is no point. He can still do this, but you see this, my bishop is covering this part. He can't go to knight c6. Now he has to go to queen e2 here, and then you play bishop b3, because if you just go a4, a3, that's a mistake. He will keep on hole. He will create a hole here. So here you can just say, let's say black will go queen e8, then b3, then bishop d7, a6. It's a like it's a very standard. Now he can play here queen c2, f5, bishop e, f3, pawn push. You can just get it, and you start your attack. Yeah, you just need your bishop on. He can just go s6. but then you can just start pushing here. So this is again, so again, the King Indian defense is always in race. Like whoever put the pawn storm, he will win. So that is how the King's Indian defense. So, but again, the reason I'm telling with the knight f3 move order is here, you can, it's all you can convert to the pretty much very standard setup here. But going with the knight f3 move order so that you can reduce a lot of black choices here. Now, another one more thing I will just show you quickly, and then we can go on the question and answer on this one. Black will copy the white what. So most of the time, black will copy completely. Knight e6, you go knight c6. Now you go e4 here. Again, we don't want to give the center because if you just play d3, e3, or he has this center. Again, because we are a white, we need to press it hard. Here, you just simply can go here. E6. This is, I think, Marachi bind. That's a pretty much standard setup. But I think it is good for a white. So you can just play it. And then he has the option to take I think standard here is you take here, bishop d7, rook c8, rook c8, then b3 here, a6. Yeah. Yeah, and this is like you just put the knight e5, and when he takes here, because the reason is when you put it, he has to take, and then if you take, now you see here you have the 4 majority and you have the 2 here. So you're gonna fight it on the queen side. Try to push your slowly pawns a3, b4, and then push toss. That's what the whole plan for the white here. So that is the Marachi bind. That is what the black will try to get in the symmetrical positions. So this is all the knight f3 move order starts. So if you have anything you want me to show with the knight f3 move order, let us know. But what I covered is Catalan on the d takes c4, Catalan on b6. You can see on the knight f3 move order with the response on d5, you can pretty much convert to the standard opening here. A Catalan knight bd7 here, Tarash here, and King's Indian. So do you guys have any questions here on the knight f3 move order?
It was a very good explanation from your side. Came to know about in a very shorter time all the responses, standard responses, standard theories in a very little time. Till now, there is no doubt from my side.
Anybody has any question, like they wanted to look into some specific response FPP thing, or like if you have anything standard, what do you play against knight f3?
Yes. Actually, you explained very well. I think no one is asking that. That means that you covered all the variations and all the.
Yeah, I don't know if people have understood, but I am also very new to the chess.
You excellently you explained it very well, and absolutely there is no doubt that you have very good knowledge of this opening, and means
he's a very good experienced player.
Yeah, a very experienced player. Are you a regular player or
regular player?
Yeah, actually,
he's playing from 2014 regularly.
Yeah, actually, I mean, my brother and me, we were playing in the Pune, and when I come to United States, I got the 1400 rating. That is the United Chess Federation.
Okay.
They are having every month. There are a lot of tournaments happens. Okay. So I started with 1400 chess rating, and then I went to the 2110. That is my highest rating. That's with the self improvement. Like I have not followed any coach, but I had a virtual coach like my friends and some DVD I was referring, and I went on to 2110. That's my highest rating.
That's great. That's great. And you're doing their job also, and part time you're doing those things. Yes.
Yeah, basically like I always play, like there are weekend tournaments on Saturday, Sunday, and I do job here. I am a senior manager working in software industry. I'm working for the Capgemini, and I am here from last around 12 years in US.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, but I do play regularly chess, but from last 2 years I have not playing because the reason there is a COVID, right? So there is no out of
Right.
on the board tournament, so it's all like online.
Right. So basically,
Yeah.
you just want to tell that for NF3 there is a good reply from black side is to go for the D5.
Yeah, that's yeah. They will try to get into the very standard setup,
Yeah.
but if you see, white has a very good responses, and you can. It's a very flexible opening. You
Yeah.
can try to adapt whatever the setup you are comfortable. That's one of the advantage of that knight f3.
Yes. And when you just told that when the black goes for the similar kind of setup, that is knight f6, then you will go for the c4 itself. So that is a good thing that from white side, if black goes for the similar kind of setup, then you go for the alternate option, that is c4, right?
Yeah, that's right. So whole reason is we don't want to give a center to black because
Yeah.
ultimately if black gets to the center like c4, this kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you try to play slow,
Yeah.
it's like I don't
Yeah.
like the pressing here. He will have a lot of center, and it's very tough to get break.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, because I still believe like being a white, you need to press for the win. A black is the one who is trying to equalize it, so don't give a chance to them.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea. I would playing with a knight f3. So if you wanted to see any specific response, I can go through that if you have any experience playing and you are facing some difficulties here. Yeah,
Yeah.
the last thing I did not cover it, the Dutch actually.
Dutch.
That's what I was going to ask, because I play Dutch Stonewall, so I was going to ask you, I'm going to play Stonewall against anything apart from e4. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going
good.
for
I
this.
will
With an
explain
f3,
that.
I'm going for the Stonewall. So how
Stonewall
would you
setup.
respond?
Stonewall
Yeah, sure.
f5, e6, d5, c6,
Yeah,
nf6, bd6, nbd7.
yeah, I will just show you that. Okay. Now let's say here in this Dutch, see the difference main here is your pawn is not on push to d4. So you have these things, okay, to attack here. So I will show you what is the subtle difference here. Let's say on the f5, that's a black is trying to go on d6 Dutch. You go d3 here. We wanted to hit his center. We don't want to give his standard setup. Let's say black will stop this. Okay, now if he, let's say he wanted to stop here because you can't go it. If you go here, you will lose the pawn. But I will show you the database here. Use as a white, you go ahead and hit this back. Okay. Now if he has to take this, right? If he take, you see this is the problem. Now you see there are a lot of games here, but look at the percentage, how much percent white is winning. Immediately hit on the knight f3, he has to go back. See, this is the, now if you play s6, it's a checkmate. Okay, he knows that black is very smart. He knows that if I play s6, there is a checkmate. He'll try to play e6 here, but now there is no checkmate, right? Now you go h6 here. I'm showing the database also. See, again, if you hit here, again, if you play bishop e7, now you can just go c5. You see here, it's like white is who is the pushing here. Because you don't care about your pawn because there are a lot of attack here because black is not yet developed. So it's not you are immediately winning here. Okay, it's not like that. Okay, I'm immediately winning here. Let's say if you play with the g6 setup, that's a pretty much you can see. But look at the response, how much percentage white is winning here. You can simply go here and the rook s6 and bishop s6 here. Rook f7. Look at these positions, right? You can, because this is the Dutch and you have to play. The difference here is I have white did not play d4. That's the main difference. But this is not good a response for black to immediately go to f5. There is a tricky move order if you wanted to follow the standard. What is that? Stonewall, right? Stonewall
d5
setup.
or e6.
Yeah. Because if he goes here, it's not good because white can immediately play d3 followed by e4 and put it. So he will go very tricky move order. He thinks what he's gonna do, right? Remember, we have to be ready with our setup against the f5 because remember, black did not play knight f6. He did not play c5 or d4. He has still chance to go to the f5.
Anything from here.
Right. So now here again, I don't want to go and give this setup. Here, I don't want to play this also because we don't know whether it is going to go in Catalan or what black is want. So here move order here is, so knight f3, e6, he goes c4. Okay. Now if he goes here, right? Now he'll try to go on the f5. Okay, that is fine. Again, remember we need to hit this guy. We have to play this. Let's try for pressing here. He'll stop here, right? So whole idea is we have to push this guy. That is the whole idea. Okay, now he will play this. Okay, now you go g3 here. Now bd7, castle, you get castle, castle. Now and he will play. So now you got, see, black thought that he got it into the stone wall, but there is a subtle difference. Our pawn is not on d4, it's on d3, and we have hit this option. We are not losing your pawn. Remember this. We are not losing our pawn. Look at this one. Look at this pawn. See, the whole idea is black is not going to hit onto my. He's not going to follow his standard setup like queen e8 followed by queen h5 and put the knight here and try to attack. Look at, he's in different territory now, and black will think, okay, I thought of working with the stone wall, but what is this? Now let me try to figure out what can I do it. So again, chess is what you have to stop the opponent plan and execute your plan. You can't go with your plan. That is what the Karpov always does. He always go through, he work on the purple axis, not on his plan. Stop the opponent plan and then execute your plan. That is what the strategy I follow here. So see, because that's the whole difference here.
Thank you, sir. But the thing is with Stonewall, if I see D3, then I don't go for Stonewall because we know E4 is coming. So then we
That
go
is
for the
correct. Yeah.
typical Dutch
Let's go on
setup,
with
which is
your move order.
D6, and then we're going for the E5 break. How you're going for the E4 break, we're going for the E5 break.
Yeah, now let's tell me now, knight f3, what do you play?
I play F5. So you're playing
F5?
D3, I'm not playing the E6, D5. I'm playing E6, D6.
Yeah, I will play d3. What do you play here?
I play E6. So I'm still keeping my options open here. With D6.
Yeah, now I will go e6. But are you going to give me this break, e4 break?
So then I may play Nf6.
Yeah, that's
I may
correct.
play
Now
Nf6 over here too. If yes, correct. So I think Nf6.
yeah, and again I'm going with e4 break.
Probably has broken for my Dutch.
Yeah, that is what the whole idea, right? Then Nf3 is if you go directly c5, if you
F5
see
is
in
not
the
coming
data,
then with an F3. Yes, sir. I can't play
yeah,
Dutch.
yeah, you can't play with the Dutch. That's what I'm saying. Like, because I remember the difference, because whole idea I'm breaking your pawn structure here and gonna convert it.
Yes, when D3 is played, then I can't go with Stonewall. I'm aware of that. But NF3 first, I have not
Yeah, see,
experienced
because
breaking.
yeah, Nf3. See, the reason is I don't want to, being a white, I don't want to play very slow, because what is this? You just take me my center and then I will defend my
No,
center.
so I don't mean D3 first. I mean they general C4 and NC3, and sometimes I just don't go for D4. I go for the Stonewall only after I see D4. The thing
Yeah,
is when
that's right.
D4 doesn't come, D4 is delayed. That's when I'm a little skeptical about the Stonewall.
Yeah, I will
Because
tell you
it
what
is going to
standard.
make the E4 break even easier.
Yeah, right. I will tell you one standard setup for a Dutch who can easily follow it. I will tell you one setup here, which you can play with the Dutch. So you go with this one on C4, you go with the E5. Okay, knight C3, you go F5 here. You can do this here. But on the D6, I'm not going with the C4. I have to go with the D4. Now there is no point stopping me to play because I want to stop this. I want to stop it. Then there is one way you can go actually. Here E6, then you go with the, I think, yeah, here C4. I think because black will get this kind of setup here. Let me see what is that setup, because I face a lot of times here this problem. I think E6, and then you go C4. Yeah, still F5, knight C3, knight F6. Yeah, it's like if you wanted to go in the standard, you will go with. But I again always try to.
You push E4 breaks.
Yeah, but there is a one setup actually, E5 and F5. They'll play some setup. I think because I face this problem.
And sir, from black side, if Nf3 comes and I know you're going for the E4 break, then how do I be proactive and try to stop your E4 break?
Yeah, then if you wanted to play Dutch, there is a one standard setup you can follow actually in Dutch.
D6, which you said, D6, E5.
Yeah, there is something called F5. This is
There's
I
no
think
gambit.
here. No, there is no
Oh,
gambit. You don't
okay.
need to gambit anything here, I think. I will tell you what is that. Yeah, you go. Okay, now if I go C4, you just go. Yeah, this is the move. Yeah, this is the move order you can go. You see now? Because you can, there is no problem. Now you just simply go something. Yeah, something is similar here. Okay. Yeah, if you just go here. Yeah, this move order you can follow at least if you wanted to
Yeah,
play
it is
Dutch.
like means if you push back the pawn to D2, we can and put it back that by F5 pawn to the F7. It is like reverse Sicilian.
Yeah, you can go similar that, and that is still playable for black actually. There is one setup which can achieve with that, but that is you have to follow very tricky move order with knight F3. Basically, I always whenever I play, with knight F3, I most of the time I see these people see this response. C4 they wanted to go the symmetrical, and they otherwise they have to go to D5 here. Here only I'm dealing my D4 because I am afraid of this. I mean, it's like, I think it's a still good opening for black because they will play some Slav, right? I still believe this is good. I don't see any problem black is having here because, you can just simply castle here, you play S6 here, you can't, if you hit back, he'll turn. This is, very good diagonal he has because now my pawn is now not on D3. So for that, I will go one tricky order. I think I just saw the game Vidit was playing. They'll play D3. Here I just play G3, knight F6, bishop G2. If you play F5 here, I don't go D4, C4 here. I will go just D3. He'll try to push me back. I'll castle here. Knight BD7, C4. This one. And now you chop it here. If you do, you play knight C. My idea is I'm going to play E4. Let's say if he try to stop me, you go Queen C2 here, S6, and you go to E4. See? Again, look at my pieces. I will again try to open. Right? If you just castle, you can simply go here. It is okay. Right? It's okay. This is not weak. This is not your weak point. Or he might not, or he will play here. For example, instead of castle, he can play here. You take, you go back. You have very good opening here, Queen D7. Then you can have like go, maybe you can just play here bishop E2 followed by bishop E1, and then you can play on this diagonal. And this is the problem, but that's a very temporary because my knight is gonna jump to D4. See, and I have this hole also. But look at least I can just preventing this bishop. It's always a way of style. How do you want it? Because for me, I initially said that this Nf3 opening is very strategic opening. You can't just see aggressive thing here. You have to go very strategic and play slowly. So that's what whoever want to play with the knight F3, they have to go very slow. So anything you want to see, or we are good on the knight F3? I'll just quickly show one G6 setup actually as a black.
Bhau,
Yes.
you have any Kramnik games? I think Kramnik is a regular reporter of Nf3 player. Whole career he used to play this opening, right now. If you have any sample game which shows his plans of the Nf3, please show. Otherwise, you can continue.
Sachin Damekar have sent one game from Kramnik, I think.
1 minute. Game.
That is of
No, Alexander Grushchuk and Shakir Mahmudov. That was the game.
Yeah, I had a lot of games. I bought that 2021 database, but that's on my other laptop, and that's not on actually. I'm facing some issue. Otherwise, I have that database, entire database, where I can pull a lot of games for the Kramnik also.
Gaikwad sir, just a
Yes.
minute.
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Go ahead, please.
after the Nf3, if black tries to play Sicilian by playing c5, so we will have to move the Sicilian only, right?
Yeah, now here are the choices, right? Let's say if you are a U4 player, and you can go E4 also here.
So here we have to go with the Sicilian only, right?
Yeah,
Or
that's
we
what
can't
like.
avoid.
Yeah, you have two choices, but I will tell you very good reply. There is a very good reply for the Morachi white, and that is very strategic opening and very good for white, because black is where we will try to play for the equality. He'll struggle a little bit, so I will go you move order here. Now C5, C4, then knight C6, knight C3, and he'll just go here D6. There are alternate. For example, let's say he'll go to some G6 setup. We go with the E4, G6. Then you hit it to the center. See, bishop G7. You see, this is all standard Morachi bind setups. Symmetrical opening, but Morachi bind. And he takes, then you go bishop B3, he'll take bishop E3, BD7, queen D2. See, this is all Morachi bind setup. See this? Yeah, he has E6 or A6, you can just go rook C8 and so whole my idea is I'm going to put my knight on the ND5 when you chop it. For example, rook here. You go here and chop this, and you see you have four. The game plan is simple here. You have four the pawns. You're going to fight with the two and try to create one passer and push there. That's whole idea here. So you have a choice. You can go to the regular Sicilian or you go to the Morachi bind setup.
Any universal setup using knight to f3, can we make so that whatever the black plays, we can carry on that setup?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll tell you that you can definitely make it. Like I would say, if you see the G3 setup, right? Any opening you can play G3, irrespective of what the black will play. You can just simply go here, right? Yeah, some botany setup. See, with knight f3, you can follow this setup, and this is pretty good for white. You just always follow this structure, this structure, this this setup. Irrespective of what black is doing, you go with this and try to push your f4 break, knight h here, and try to slowly put the pressure on this f5. With knight f3, you can achieve that. But again, like it's like black will get equality very quickly, and then yeah, it's all equal game. But it's not like the black is gonna launch a lot of attack on you. You have, because you are white, you can still press for win here.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think I have most of the time. I think it's called some Reti opening or Sting Indian setup, right? They do that.
Reti. You can call it Reti.
Yeah.
Knight D2 and then followed by.
Yeah, actually, I have a lot of DVDs on this one also. I have a lot of chess material. I have around 150 chess books and a lot of DVDs. I bought it. I would have shown it like G3 setup, Knight F3. I have a lot of setup books and DVDs on this one. Okay, so yeah, again, like
Just
yeah, go ahead.
One of the advantage of playing one knight f3, correct if I'm wrong,
Yes.
we are taking out the black a little bit away from his expectation, and then most of the times we can put our pieces and we can take our own setup. So it's an opening advantage, and especially the game can be entering in a positional game rather than a tactical game.
Yeah, that is correct. That's like, yeah, that's a correct explanation. Yeah, the reason, whole reason is with the knight f3 is we are trying to get our comfortable setup and take away black in a different territory from his standard setup. Standard setup he is following. Yeah, you are correct, sir. Yeah, so that's all the whole idea here. And there is a one more also setup, hedge. That's a hedge talk, right? That they can also follow. For example, yeah, here also you go with the d5 against c4 break, and you see this is also, I'm just going with the more orders here. Bishop, then you go knight, for example, d4, knight bd7. Yeah, you just chop here. I think some, I will just go more order and they'll, yeah, I will show one last setup. Black can go, and that's very good actually. Again, this one, knight f6, g3, b6, bishop g2, bishop c5. That's a hedge talk, right? Something. Then c5, c4, e6, knight c3, bishop e7, rook e1, castle, and then he'll play. Then now you go with the e4. Remember, my rook e1 plan is, I will tell you one here trap. D6, you go here, and knight e6. Now, bd7 is a mistake here. Or bd7 or
This is
a6.
yeah, this is somewhat converted into Sicilian.
Yeah, that
Hedgehog structure.
hedge talk is there, right? That's what it is.
Sicilian.
But yeah, that's correct. But here is slightly mistake. Let's say black will think, okay, my a6 is coming, right? Let's stop this. A6 is a mistake, bd7 is a mistake here. So only move is queen c6, queen c7. You know what is going to happen here? Let's say he thinks I want to stop this guy. That's a natural move, but you have seen this move here. Look at the percentage. How much percentage white is winning here? See this? d5, and you have in between move, right? d4. See that? Bishop a8, bishop c3 here, and you see here. And this is very good for, I think, white, right? I think white is having exchange up and double bishop here. However, he has compromised with the pawn. So this is very subtle difference. Like we thought, that's what the move order you have to say. And this e4, that's a very standard. You can see that a lot of people play it. It's not like a side opening or something. Here, move is d4 here. But rook e1 is also very good. See, you have to always play like what you are playing is not important. You have to make your opponent uncomfortable to play. Even though, let's say, for example, you are very expert in one of the line, but opponent knows the response very well, then you take him to another territory so that he will feel very uncomfortable, and then he will do the mistakes. Chess is all about making opponent mistakes so that you can win the game. So that's what, like, the prophylaxis, that's what you have to always follow. What my opponent is going to play, and how can I stop it for that?
There is one game regarding the same setup, Kramnik versus Rajabov. I have shared it on WhatsApp. If possible, you can share the screen and show the game. It's like you are saying the same thing. Queen c7 is the move, exact time. If you don't play the queen c7, then black loses.
Yeah, right, I think.
Yeah. I have shared it on WhatsApp. If possible, share the screen, the game. The same setup. Rajabov versus Kramnik.
Yeah,
Kramnik won the match.
Yeah, we can go on that anyway. I think we can get here also. See here. See, yeah, Fiddler is also right. Fiddler is playing here. Yeah, I think pretty much. Yeah, see the rook c8 and queen c7. A6 is there. Let's see what are the games here.
Yeah.
See, I think here I think I can. Yeah, see Anup Deshmukh, right? I think he's very good player. He also played this one.
Yeah, international.
Yeah, he played A6 and he just won like very comfortable. See? Yeah, it's not like that. See, you look at the percentage, how much white is winning. See? Yeah, it's like nothing, black, white has very good. He has two passer, right? So it's all done. Like, yeah, this is very good. See? These are the subtle differences, very small differences, but ultimately you need to know what you have to do. Let's say in this case, and most of the people play this actually. It's not knight c7. Now you have bishop e3, and so whole idea. Let's say now we are in very standard format, right? Rook c1, for example, here knight bd7. But again, you see now you can hit with the b3 or go with the f4. As if Peter, let's say, who is anybody in here? Yeah, this is yes, Spillman. This is also good, very the England player, Spillman, Jonathan Spillman. That's also very good chess player. Yeah, if you want to go with the f4, you can always. I like this f4 idea and g4 because look at his pieces 1, 2, 3, 4. These are at queen side. Nobody has a king side. We can try to push here. Knight c5. Look at the percentage here. So this is a hedge top defense. So this is one of the setup. See, ultimately we reach to the standard opening, but in a different order. Okay. Yeah, if you don't have any question, guys, I will just quickly show the G6 setup here. Okay. That's also pretty standard I follow, but I will just quickly show the G6. So we are good on knight f3, right? So if you are not, you don't have any question, I'll move to G6.
Yes.
I will not take more time there.
Yes, continue.
Yeah, I will not take more time. I am not that expert also, but I'll show you that what I basically play.
No, you are going very well. You can continue. We are enjoying.
I hope so. Okay, so okay, now guys, I always go to G6 with any opening what black play. But again, I try to get into the standard setup. If not, I will try to stick my life. I have seen the Magnus Carlsen playing this G6. Then Nihal Sarin is also playing G6 in Bullet or Blitz. But and Hikaru Nakamura always play G6 also when he play the Blitz and Bullet also. So if you play E4, we'll go G6. Here I will tell you the how white can go very wrong. Basically, I will tell you because when people play e4, they things like very attacking. They wanted to go to attacking side, but it's not always possible with g6. I will say here, for example, let's say on e4 g6 f4. Okay, bishop g7 d5. Okay, I think this is a pretty standard opening, right? I think. I don't know what is this setup actually. Some setup is this called, right? F4 is this bird opening, I think, right? So now you hit your center E5, okay? Because what is the aim of this? Going with this setup and trying to push on the queen side. Now hit the center here. Hit the center. He will play C3, okay? There is a big difference here. What he's achieved here. It's not easy for white to achieve this setup with the G6 move order. No, right? So now, as soon as he plays C3, you take it, he will take. Now we are gonna, as a black, we're gonna press on D4. Press it. He will try to defend. That's okay. Press it. He'll try to defend. I'm removing the defender. Press if you wanted to hard. He will say, okay, let's see, because still I don't want to take it because I have not castle. Okay, I'm gonna go back here. Our main idea is press here. Okay, now you just simply castle. He'll castle, just stop him. He'll play f3. I'm just showing all standard openings here. Look at this pawn. See, he can't play here because I will chop. And look at the percentage how much black is having. So I'm just showing you the move order. What black thing white is gonna, because I believe when they go with the f4, they will always think I'm gonna crush it like the way normal. But with the g6, it's not easy. It's not easy. He can't play this because he will lose. If he does this, you have again press it. Press hard as you can do. See, right? And now he's going to lose this one, and he's ultimately going to lose the game. I will show you from the beginning also. See, look at if you go here. I will see F4, right? It's not easy. You can't have this. You can't have this nice setup against G6. It's not possible. You go with the move order if you want to go. And if you see the percentage, it's showing equality on the beginning itself. It's not like black is winning or something here, but he has very comfortable setup with G6. Let's say he'll another setup I will tell you with the G6. Let's say E4, G6, D4, bishop C4 here. Now if you go with the C4 here, this move order, right? Again, I will go to C6, knight C2. Okay, now here, I don't know whether this is very good for black or losing, but I like this setup here. This is not good because this is again showing 1.3, but I don't see the games where he or win because, you know, let's say if you try to check me, I'll go here. If he just go here, you give a check, he'll take, he'll give a check, and you can just play D7. See? I don't mind playing this also as a G6 setup. See, so that is another setup you can. But the standard response for this one I will show you. Actually, I was playing with this chess kata right tournament. I think someone, I don't know what is her name. She played very good game and I was losing there, but luckily I won that one. So I'm trying to find that setup she followed. That's very good setup she followed actually. So okay, here the best response is knight c3. Okay, then you go c6, knight c3. Again, I am just trying to hit my standard setup. This is a Caracon with g6. Best response is h3. Again, this is not good. It's all you can see the equality. See, as soon as you get a chance to chop this bishop with the knight, you always go and do that because your pawn you're going to keep on the white square. You don't want your white square bishop, so you chop with this one. And they have very good knight because it can jump and put you more pressure. So as soon as whenever let's say black is not playing h3, that's a rare option you have. You directly go and play bishop deep and chop your this knight for your bishop. That's always a good idea. So now this is the best opening he has a response. You can go here. You go here. This is what the Nakamura plays. If you see the Hikaru's game, I will show you. There are a lot of games Hikaru has played with this. Sir. He goes here, you take here. This one, bishop c4, since he did not, you castle. But I still don't see any gambits here. My whole plan is not allowed any gambits. But on g6 setup, I don't see any gambits here. See,
What
now
about
you
monkey's
can,
bunk? Monkey's
what?
bunk, you know about the setup?
No, with g6.
E4, G6, E4, G6, BC4.
Yeah, e4, e4, g6.
G6.
Okay, sorry. e4, g6. What is this move?
G6, bishop C4.
Yeah,
Bishop
this is
C4.
yeah, that is good because white is wanted to put here. I think most of the
Yeah,
people play.
bishop C4 and queen F3, traditional mating system. Lots
Okay,
of
let's
games
go
channels
on now.
played on the system.
Yeah, you'll go again bishop
Bishop
g7.
C7, queen F3, queen F3.
Yeah, so look
Like
at the percentage, how much percent black is winning here. You see that? Very standard. Just stop
Yeah,
his
it's
bishop
just
attack.
like that.
Yeah, stop his bishop's attack. I have very good alternative for this as a white. I will tell you what white can go here. He go knight f3, c6, then he go knight c3.
C4.
Okay. Yeah, because he's ultimately stopping my d5, right? Now you have f5 here. Sorry, b5. Okay, see here. I think another setup white is having. I will show you one setup which he can go d4, bishop g7, c, knight c3, c6, d4. Yeah, okay. Let's say if you go knight f3, okay, or maybe you can go here bishop c4 again, c3, knight f3, d5. He will take. We'll go maybe bishop d3. That's what pretty standard. Having this castle here, knight c6, right? You see, it's all standard setup, right? But I don't think so he can allow here. I think let's play rook e1, because if he allow this e4, then we don't have anything. Now here, I don't like giving this bishop here. I mean, you can still play that, but you know, you can just play king c7. I like this setup here. Yeah, maybe he can just go here. See, I like this one. Yeah, maybe yeah, e5 and rook e8. But this is, it's, see, whole idea is I'm not allowing the gambits here. So do you guys have any favorite setup against g6? So you guys face anywhere? I can just quickly go through that. One more setup I will quickly show you that what most of the people play. They will not, if I just played it, they'll go, this is, I showed all the responses again, e4, okay? Let's say what they'll go with the, what is that, English, okay? I will show you English. With the g6 setup, no matter what black do in you know, in English, like if you go knight f3, you follow this structure, always go this structure. For example, let's say go here, castle. Look at this structure. Always, I mean, I follow always this structure. And now you have in on time, you don't need to go immediately. But anything he played, you have this structure. Your knight is here. For example, see your bishop is opening. Your knight is supporting each. You are ready for d5 break. If required, you are ready for f5 break. Whatever black will white do, that's a pretty standard strategy, and it's not like sidelines. Okay, again I will tell you. You have seen number of games has been played. No, don't go here. c5 setup. This one at c3. He can go d3. Again e6. Okay. He can just go e4. Knight e7. Knight b2. Castle. c6. See this setup. This one, because we can't go d5. So this is the setup for against your English. So that's what the G6 is, very flexible setup you can adapt here. It's really works very well with any setup you know white is trying to do here. Do you guys have any specific play against G6 here? E4, D4, or whatever it is.
G6 is in, it's a modern defense, no?
Yeah, it's a modern defense. But again, you have very good control, like you can convert it again based upon your comfort level. Like I can quickly go with again C4, D4, or C4 one response. Anyone has some games, if they have black.
Me स्वतः is E4 G6 D4 D4 BG7 आणि C4 करून सेंटर पकडून के बसायचं.
As a white का? White na? E4 right? E4 G6 then कोणतं D4 right?
E4 G6 D4 BG7
हा आता इथं आता नाइट C3 का C4
और C4
हा ऍक्च्युली ते हा याच्यामध्ये C6 प्ले आणि नाइट C3 राईट. आता हे सगळं सेंटर बसलं राईट. हे हा सेटअप ना. हॅलो तुमचा आवाज पटतोय.
हा सेंटर मिळते तर सोडायचं कशाला.
हा नाही बरोबर आहे, बिकॉज ह्याच्यामध्ये डिसएडव्हान्टेज हेच आहे ना की ब्लॅक काय करतंय सेंटर देत आहे, हेच आहे राईट. हा सेटअप
C3 नाइट खेळायचं. जनरली इट्स लाइक अ किंग्स इंडियन डिफेन्स.
करेक्ट राईट. आता if you see right, it's like असं नाही की means it's equality. You can, it's not like equality, but it is okay. Black can hold this position.
हा ब्लॅक आताची ओपनिंगच सुरू झालंय. हेवी हे आहे आता इथं सॅमिश व्हेरिएशननी खेळू शकतो मी F3 करून.
We will break the by E5. We will break it by E5 and then go for the same setup by KID like that structure.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually ब्लॅक कसा होतो, ब्लॅक बराच बिहाइंड आहे मूव ऑर्डर मध्ये.
हा बरोबर राईट.
व्हाईट कॅन होल्ड ना, म्हणजे याच्यात काही होत नाही. इट्स अ पोझिशनल गेम. सो व्हाईट विल प्रिफर टू म्हणजे हे पोझिशनल जे खेळतात त्यांच्यासाठी एकदम सोपं काम आहे.
हा बरोबर आहे, राईट. हा मी सी द रिझन मी CC खेळतो कारण ते गॅम्बिट अवॉइड करतो. आय मीन दॅट्स ओनली थिंग, बिकॉज मी गॅम्बिट आय एम नॉट अ गुड डिफेंडर. माझ्यावर अटॅक आला तर मला कळतच नाही, मी एकदम स्क्रम्बल्ड होतो. दॅट इज द रिझन आय चोज दिस सेटअप. Because even the knight f3 also, like कोणी पण लेट्स से डिफेन्सिव्ह प्लेअर आहे, स्ट्रॅटेजिक प्लेअर आहे किंवा त्याला असं अग्रेसिव्ह नाही, तर ते नाईट f3 मूव्ह ऑर्डर तेच रिझन आहे की तुम्ही स्लो खेळा आणि स्ट्रॅटेजिकली खेळा. ह्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा तसंच, ह्याच्यामध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही स्लो खेळा तुमचा सेटअप. बट दिस इज हा पेनफुल सेटअपच आहे ब्लॅकला खेळायला. हा, बिकॉज व्हाईट सगळं सेंटर घेऊन बसतो यामध्ये. दुसरा एक अग्रेसिव्ह सेटअप आहे E4 ला आहे, H4 आहे हा एक सेटअप आहे. पण तो असं काय एवढं काही खास करत नाही, बिकॉज यू आर हिटिंग द सेंटर फर्स्ट. सो आणि त्याला एवढं काही प्रॉब्लेम नाहीये ब्लॅकला येतो. हा एक अजून सेटअप आहे, पण हे काय असं एवढं काही खास होत नाही, बिकॉज त्याला वाटतं की इट्स नॉट इझी. आय थिंक मोस्ट पेनफुल हा सेटअप आहे जो तुम्ही सांगितलं सरांनी आता, D4 E6 आणि C4 होल सेंटर तुम्हाला येतं. यामध्ये तुम्ही असं करू शकता वाटलंच तर.
ऍक्च्युली वर्गीत
त्याच्यामध्ये D6 आणि E5 तेच चांगलं आहे, म्हणजे KID मधलं जे
हा, तो पण बेस्ट सेटअप आहे.
तेच बेस्ट सेटअप, म्हणजे हे
आता हे
D4 C4 च्या अगेन्स्ट मध्ये तेच चांगलं. हा A5 वगैरे
हे असं तुम्हाला प्रॉपर सेटअप येतं, हे असं खेळायचं. सॉरी, हे KID. आता तुम्हाला हे चॉईस पण आहे, इकडे जाऊ शकता का इकडे जाऊ शकता.
हो.
राईट.
हो, गर्दी नव्हती एवढी.
उशिरा आल्यामुळे गर्दी नव्हती.
तेवढी गर्दी वाहनं भरपूर होती, पण आता थांबून नाही.
कोण काहीतरी बोलतंय का माझा? काहीतरी आवाज येतोय माझा मध्ये.
सॉरी सर, मी
सरांनी सांगितलं राईट नाईट C3 वर, पण मग ब्लॅकला हे चॉईस आहे, बिकॉज नाईट C3 मुळे तो हे भेटतो इझी मग त्याला. बिकॉज दे डोंट माइंड, हे जर आपण असं जरी खेळलो तरी काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही येतो, बिकॉज क्वीन ऑफ द बोर्ड.
C6 करून ते नंतर आरामात खेळू शकतो, किंग C7 वगैरे खेळून.
करेक्ट. हे तुम्ही असं खेळू शकता इथं. हे असं, आणि किंग इथं ठेवा तुमचा, G6 खेळा, नाईट E7 BD6 खेळा, E5 खेळा, म्हणजे प्लॅन आहे. बिकॉज ब्लॅकला जर वाटलं बिकॉज ते हे कसं G6 लाइन कशी है ना, एक्चुअली वो कैसा है कि वो तुमको मतलब सेंटर जो है ना वो फ्लेक्सिबल बहुत सेटअप है ये। यहाँ पे कैसे तुम लोग फ्लेक्सिबली कैसा भी कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो तुम्हारे कंफर्ट लेवल से। ऐसा नहीं कि तुम्हें सिर्फ एक ही लाइन पकड़ना है। जैसे कि अगर तुम नॉर्मल चले जाते हो यहाँ पे G3 सेटअप में, और इसमें बहुत सारे गेम्स है इसमें, अभी ये तो बहुत सारा वर्क होता है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर ऐसा खेलोगे यहाँ पे नाइट,
ऍक्च्युली वर्गीस कोशी म्हणून वेटरन आहेत, ते खूप छान खेळतात मॉडर्न डिफेन्स, पर्क आणि मॉडर्न मास्टर इन, यू कॅन से पर्क, मास्टर इन पर्क अँड मॉडर्न डिफेन्स.
ओके,
वर्गीस कोशी खेळायचे, म्हणजे आता खेळतात की नाही माहिती नाही मला, पण छान आहे, चांगला हँडल करतात.
हिकारूचे फार गेम आहे तिथे, हिकारूचे G6 हिकारू नाकामुरा, मी ते ऍक्च्युली सेवच केलेले त्याचे.
ऍक्च्युली याच्यात काय होतं म्हणजे सेटअप मध्ये, की हे सुपर जीएमचे गेम बघून उपयोगच नाही आपल्याला.
हा बरोबर आहे,
ते कुठल्याही क्षणी कुठल्याही साईडला खेळू शकतात.
हा बरोबर आहे, दॅट इज ट्रू.
स्पेसिफिक किंग साइड सेंटर किंवा क्वीन साइड असं नाहीये. त्यांना वाटलं तर क्वीन साइड वरनं किंग साइडला येतात, काही येऊ शकतं.
त्यांचं पोझिशन अंडरस्टँडिंग असतं ना तसं, की कोणती कन्वर्ट करायला कसं करायचं त्यांना माहित असतं. आपल्याला ते अंदाज नसतो, म्हणजे छोटी जरी मिस्टेक केली तर ते लगेच पकडून त्याला जिंकून जातात ते. पण आपल्या अशात असं असतं की तरी छोटी काय थोडी मोठी मिस्टेक जरी केली तर आपण एवढं पकडत नाही, म्हणजे पोझिशनल मिस्टेक, पोझिशनल एरर्स जे त्यांच्या नजरेत असतात.
हा पण कसं अजून एक आपण काय असतं माहितीये का, आपण काही जीएम वगैरे कोणी खेळत नसताना आपण लगेच त्याला म्हणतो साईड लाईन आहे, काय चांगलं नाही, कशाला खेळत, असं होतं ते, राईट. वाटतं की कोणीच ते खेळत नाही, साईड लाईन आहे असं होतं ते. वरून मग ते असलेला वाटतं अरे चला कोणीतरी खेळतंय, आपण पण खेळा.
कॉपी कॅट.
हा, त्याच्यामुळे मग मी बोलताना नेहमी रेफरन्स दिला की हे जे आहेत ना, हे साईड लाईन्स नाही आहेत. सगळ्यात पहिली गोष्ट फक्त तुम्ही मूव्ह ऑर्डर ट्रिक करून खेळतात अपोनंट बरोबर. राईट.
तो ज्या
म्हणजे-
सेटअप मध्ये परफेक्शन आहे तसं असं दिसून आलं की आपण ते सेटअप चेंज करून दुसऱ्या सेटअप मध्ये घेऊन जायचं, हे थोडासा एक एम असतो.
चेस मध्ये काय आहे? आता चेस मध्ये काय, जर दोघं सेमच जर खेळले तर ड्रॉ होतो गेम. चेस मध्ये अल्टिमेटली आपल्याला एम करायचं की काहीतरी मिस्टेक कर, भले तू मग प्रेशर येऊन कर किंवा तू फ्रस्ट्रेट हो, काहीतरी मिस्टेक कर आणि तसं जिंकतो आपण गेम.
बरोबर.
नाही तर दोघं जर चांगलं खेळले तर ड्रॉच होतात गेम. म्हणून आपल्याला त्याला अनकम्फर्टेबल करायचं कशाने तरी, की तू असं खेळतो का, ओके मी असं तुला देतच नाही, भले मी हरू पण मी तुला असं करणारच नाही, चला दुसरं game. असं
कम्फर्ट झोन मध्ये घेऊन जात नाही म्हणजे असं.
हा, बेसिकली हे आपलं एम पाहिजे अल्टिमेटली. म्हणजे माझं तरी जनरली खेळताना, आता मी काय एवढा एक्सपर्ट प्लेअर नाही, पण माझे व्ह्यूज देतोय मी.
छान सांगितलं तुम्ही, म्हणजे एकदम तुमचे ओपिनियन खूप छान आहेत, म्हणजे अंडरस्टँडिंग पण तुमचं खूप छान आहे. इव्हन ओपनिंग नॉलेज किंवा पोझिशनल अंडरस्टँडिंग पण खूप छान आहे तुमचं.
नाईट F3 ला मी D4 साठी सारखंच ट्रीट करतो, म्हणजे लाईक क्वीन पॉन ओपनिंग.
हा, D5 मग त्याला असं वाटतं आपला D4 खेळायचं.
बरेच जण काय म्हणतात की नाईट F3 ओपनिंग वेगळे आहे, पण मला ते वाटतच नाही. कारण
हा नाही, आपण फायनली त्याला ते तसंच करतो ना, आपण त्याला घेऊनच येतोय. राईट, अल्टिमेटली त्याला घेऊनच येतो. आता तुम्ही तर G3चा सेटअप स्लो पण खेळू शकता. जो प्रगानंद नेहमी खेळत असतो हा सेटअप. असं काही असो, हा घेतो आणि तो अटॅक करत राहतो किंगला.
साऊथचे मॅक्झिमम प्लेयर्स सगळे D4 आणि NF3 वाले आहेत, लहानपणापासून.
ते आजकाल तर म्हणजे ते D4 मध्ये सुद्धा प्लेयर्स जे आहेत ना, स्लाव जरी खेळलं तर ते G3 बिशप G2 चा सेटअप खेळतायत आणि खूप छान रिझल्ट भेटतात त्याच्यामध्ये. खेळायला खूप हार्ड आहे, म्हणजे असं नाही खूप इझी नाही आहे. बिशप G2 खेळणं म्हणजे G3 बिशप G2 सेटअप हे स्लाव असो ब्लॅक कडनं किंवा कोणती जरी सिसिलियन, इव्हन सिसिलियन असो, बिशप G2 सेटअप खूप जबरदस्त आहे. मी खूप
आता कोणीतरी क्वेश्चन विचारला होता
नाईट F3 D5 आणि G3 बिशप G4 असं एकदम गावठी व्हेरिएशन मी खेळतो.
नाईट F3 D5 आणि कोणता?
बिशप G4.
ओके,
G2 D7, तर ते क्वीन D7 किंवा C8, सॉरी नाही D7 नाही, C8 ला आहेत. नाही क्वीन C8.
हो हा, राईट, हे बरोबर, राईट.
अल्टिमेटली गोइंग फॉर दी बिशप एक्सचेंज.
तो इंडियन बिशप मारला ना की जरा भारी वाटतं एकदम.
नाही, इव्हन कसं असतं, आपण पियांच्या बिशप कोणता जरी मारला ना, आपल्याला वाटतं चला आपण आता काहीतरी अचीव्ह केलंय, बिकॉज ते ऑलवेज आपल्याला शिकवलेलं असतं ना की हा बिशपला हे बिशप काढून घ्या म्हणजे आपल्याला समाधानी भेटतो.
It is considered like his main weapon of that game, and G2 G7, that his main weapon. We have taken his main weapon, and then we almost win the half battle.
हा, सो बेसिकली तसंच असतं की हा माझा बिशप मी ऍक्च्युअली केला की संपलं, म्हणजे मी जिंकलो टाईपच असं, तसं ते फिलिंग येतं बेसिकली
सगळ्यात. ड्रॅगन मध्ये मी तसं ट्राय करतो. हा, ड्रॅगन, बरोबर, सचिन दामेकर. तर ड्रॅगन मध्ये आपण तेच ट्राय करतो. G7 बिशप आला की बिशप E3 किंवा बिशप G5 खेळून क्वीन D2 खेळायचं, बिशप H6 घेऊन तो एक्सचेंज करायचा, H4 H5 अटॅक लावायचा आणि सिम्पल गेम फिनिश करायचा. सगळ्यांचा तेच जनरल आयडिया असतो.
आयुष्यभर तेच एक कन्सेप्ट शिकलोय, त्याच्यावरच घ्यायचं
हा, ऍक्च्युली कसं चेस फारच मोठं आहे, म्हणजे तुम्ही फारच मोठा विषय आहे ते वाटतं. 64 पण भरपूर आहे त्याच्यामध्ये,
भरपूर आहे.
तुम्हाला जे कम्फर्टेबल वाटतं त्याला खेळायचं बेसिकली. आता जरुरी नाही सगळ्यात लाईन कोणाला कम्फर्टेबल असतात, कोणाला नाही.
नंबर ऑफ सेटअप.
सीझन्ड अपोनंट नसेल तर तो गडबडतो, हे असलं काही चित्र खेळलं की तो एक मेजर ऍडव्हान्टेज मिळतो.
हा, राईट, तेच आहे, बरोबर आहे.
मी कुठेतरी ऐकलं होतं, म्हणजे फिशर असं म्हणायचं की आय डिडंट ओपन माय मीन्स मेन ओपनिंग्स टिल नाव. म्हणजे मी आतापर्यंत माझ्या ओपनिंग्स आणखी जगापुढे आणलेच नाही, आणखी भरपूर ओपनिंग्स आहेत असं तो काहीतरी म्हणायचा, म्हणजे फिशर म्हणायचा. तर ते खरं आहे का खोटं माहित नाही, पण इट वॉज लाईक दॅट. म्हणजे एक कहाणी होती ती की बाबा ठीक आहे, फिशर असं म्हणायचा की म्हणजे मी फक्त माझे मेन वेपन्स तर आणखी दाखवलेच नाही जगाला असं.
फिशरचा काही तो वेगळाच प्राणी होता प्लॅनेट मध्ये. तो म्हणजे फारच एकदम वेगळाच
चेस एलियनच होता
तो चेस एलियनच. म्हणजे ते आय डोंट नो कसं काय त्याचा गेम ऑफ सेंचुरीचा वगैरे ते गेम बघितला ना, त्याचा करणार आहे तो क्वीन सॅक देतो आणि तो आय थिंक मला वाटतं तो त्याचं वय पण फार कमी आहे क्वीन सॅक देतो आणि बाकी तर पॅरालाइजच करतो आपण.
ह्युमनच मूव्हच नाही म्हणजे इंजिन मूव्हच्या पलीकडच्या मूव्ह होतात.
हा, तो म्हणजे वेगळाच माणूस होता ऍक्च्युली फिशाचा. आता कसं तो युएसचा हिरो असतो पण ते अँटी नॅशनल स्पीच मुळे तो विलन झालेला, नाही तर आता इथं त्याच्या नावाचे बापरे असे एकदम हे झाले असते मोठे क्लब वगैरे काय काय केलं असतं या अमेरिकेला.
पुतळे उभे असले असते सगळीकडे.
पुतळे उभे आले असायचे, त्याच्या नावाने टुर्नामेंट झाले असते.
पण ज्याला पोझिशनली खेळता येतं तो कसा पण खेळू शकतो ना.
हो हो बरोबर. पोझिशनल तेच सांगायचं कन्सेप्ट तेच आहे सर, की पोझिशनली ज्याला खेळायचं ना तर तो कोणताही सेटअप घेऊन खेळू शकतो. म्हणजे
खेळू शकतो.
फक्त जर आयडियाज माहित पाहिजे कसं खेळायचं आणि तो कोणासोबत चांगल्या प्रकारे सेटअप करून खेळू शकतो.
Nf3 G6 वगैरे ओपनिंग सॉलिड हे पाहिजे, म्हणजे डिफेन्सिव्ह बॅकग्राऊंड पाहिजे तरच तुम्ही हँडल करू शकता, नाहीतर प्रॉब्लेम येतो.
हा, B6 Nf3 B6 ओपनिंग ना. ह्याच्यामध्ये फार राहते हे
क्वीन्स
हा, म्हणजे तुम्ही असं ते हे पण कन्वर्ट करता त्याला असं काहीतरी आहे याच्यामध्ये. बेसिकली याचं कॅसल करतो मी C6, नाईट C3 D6, रुकी 1 खेळतो मी इथं.
हेच आपलं म्हणजे मॅनेजमेंट आपलं हे जॉक स्ट्रक्चर सिसिलियन हे जॉक.
आणि याच्यामध्ये कॅसल केलं की आता घेतो ना D4 ब्रेक आणि इथं हे सगळ्या मिस्टेक आहेत. इथं फक्त हाच एक लाईन आहे. त्याच्यामुळे मग हे पूर्ण तुमचं स्टँडर्ड सेटअप C8 A6 आणि मग ब्लॅक विल ट्राय टू पुश D5, यू विल ट्राय टू पुश ऑन द किंग साइड. असं काहीतरी आहे. अल्टिमेटली बघतो बस.
प्युअर मध्ये गेलंय.
प्युअर सिसिलियन मध्ये गेलं.
हा, करेक्ट.
तो सिसिलियन मध्येच कन्वर्ट झाला.
हा, हे सिसिलियन मध्ये. आणि हे काहीतरी हे ना, तर इकडनं बघू कसं दिसतंय.
सिसिलियन स्कॅन्डिनेव्हियन हे जॉक स्ट्रक्चर म्हणू शकतो.
हा, पण तेच व्हाईट मराठी बाइंड आहे आणि व्हाईट असं सेंटर घेऊन बसता येतं. आणि प्रेस करायला ट्राय करतो, प्रेस करायचं. हे जॉक आहे तुमचं. आणि तुमचं स्टँडर्ड मोस्ट ऑफ द पीपल मी बघितलं ते ना हे खेळतात C4 C5. then तुम्ही हे आता इथं मोस्ट ऑफ द बघितलं असं खेळतात. तुम्ही E4 तुम्ही पण सेंटर घ्या नेहमी. मी नेहमी सेंटरच घ्यायचा प्रयत्न करतो. हे बिशप E2. आता हे तुमचं सिसिलियन झालं स्टँडर्ड, पण C4 आहे तुमचं मराठी बाइंड सेटअप कम्प्लीट. आणि इथं असं. आणि हे इथं घेणं स्टँडर्ड आहे एकदम तुमचं. इथं बघितले भरपूर गेम्स आहेत पुन्हा. मास्टर हे BD7, हे क्वीन D2, हे सगळं त्यांचं स्टँडर्ड बस. आणि असं थोडं आहे म्हणजे हे स्टँडर्ड सेटअप. पण अगेन इथं ब्लॅक व्हाईट हे कम्फर्टेबल, कारण ब्लॅकला डिफेन्स करायला लागतो चांगला. तर तेच ते कसं ना, नाईट F3 मॉडल हेच ट्रिक आहे. ट्रिकी करा तुम्हाला. आता ह्याच्या नाईट F3 मध्ये ग्राउंड फील्ड एक वगैरे चालतच नाही. म्हणजे एखादा ग्राउंड फील्ड प्लेअर असेल तुम्ही असं नाईट C6, आता त्याला वाटलं की चला ग्राउंड फील्ड करू, पण माझं D4 नाहीये. आता हा जो स्टँडर्ड आहे ग्राउंड फील्ड हा चालत नाही, बिकॉज हा माझा आता बघा हा तर ओपनिंगला येतो. हे असं केलं मग त्याला आता बॅक करावं लागतं. त्याचा जो रेग्युलर सेटअप आहे काहीतरी ग्राउंड फील्ड क्लासिकल तो चालत नाही आता. मग त्याला असं बॅक करून मग बिशप F4 वगैरे प्ले करायचं.
हायली पोझिशनल आहे.
हा, हायली पोझिशनल आहे. ते नाईट F3 मध्ये तेच आहे. ते गॅम्बिट आउट करायचे नाही आणि स्लोली तुमच्या मनाने खेळायचं. असं ते बेसिकली ते नाईट F3 चा तो हेतूच आहे. आता तुम्ही याच्यामध्ये जर D4 खेळता तर हे गॅम्बिट आहे. मला माहित आहे हे गॅम्बिटले मी बऱ्याचदा हरलेलो आहे गॅम्बिटवर. काहीतरी आहे हे गॅम्बिट फारच भयानक आहे. ते इझिली ब्लॅकला हे येतं. त्याच्यामध्ये थोडं पण वाईट
D6 बिशप D6 बिशप पॉन टेक D6 बिशप टेक.
पुन्हा ते D4 मध्ये अजून प्रॉब्लेम हा एक होतो. हे एक लय भारी ओपनिंग आहे ह्याच्यासाठी ब्लॅकला. स्लाव मी स्लावला बघितलंच नाही. इक्वॅलिटी लगेच येते स्लावला. स्लाव डिफेन्स तो इक्वल स्लाव आणि सेमी स्लाव फार भारी आहे ब्लॅकला. आणि त्याच्यामध्ये व्हाईट मला वाटत नाही
बेस्ट रिप्लाय तेच आहे, म्हणजे D4 साठी बेस्ट रिप्लाय माझ्या मते तरी सेमी स्लावच आहे.
हा ते आहे, तो लगेच इक्वालिटी करतो. म्हणजे तो फारच, म्हणजे मी खेळायचो तो, पण मला नेहमी प्रॉब्लेम येतो की मी ह्याच्या अगेन्स्ट ऍटलीस्ट विन काढायचा, कारण ते कम्फर्टेबल सेटअप आहे त्याला. हे असं काहीतरी म्हणजे ब्लॅकला एकदम असं पाठ करायची सुद्धा गरज नाही, त्याला लगेच माहिती आहे असं करा, हे करा, B6 BD7 नाईट B6 C7 असं, म्हणजे ते लेस फास्ट आहे त्याच्यासाठी.
सांगितलं त्या दिवशी 7 मूव्ह फिक्स आहेत स्लाव मध्ये.
हा राईट.
केतन सरांनी सांगितलं काही खेळ 7 मूव्ह कंटिन्यू. वाईट काय करतं फ्री यूज करून टाकलं.
ओके गाईज, ऍक्च्युली मला आता जायचंय बाहेर, मला 10:30 वाजे सकाळचे, सो आय हॅव टू गो आउट.
ओके.
थँक्स फॉर जॉईनिंग गाईज.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
गुड मॉर्निंग.
खूप छान सेशन झालं, एकदम छान आपण समजून सांगितलं.
चांगला आणि एक वेगळा इनसाइट देऊन गेले सर.
आय होप सो. माझा भाऊ पण आहे, तो पण फार भारी खेळतो, तो पण मला असं, तो फार अग्रेसिव्ह प्लेअर आहे. पण
कोण?
संतोष गायकवाड हा माझा
संतोषजी, हो.
तर तो फार अग्रेसिव्ह प्लेअर आहे आणि मी पोझिशनल आहे. सो तो मला त्याला हरवण्यासाठी असं काहीतरी काढत असतो मी, म्हणजे कारण तो अग्रेसिव्ह करतो. नॉर्मल ओपनिंग खेळलो की तो काहीतरी अटॅक करून मला एकदमच हरवायचं, म्हणून मी शोधत होतो काय खेळायचं. काय म्हणले?
पुण्यामध्ये येण्याच्या अगोदर प्रिपरेशन करून येतच वाटतं, म्हणलं काय प्रश्न नाही. भावाला एकदम हरवायचं.
नाही, तो खेळतो फार अटॅकिंग, तो नेहमी खेळत असतो.
नाही म्हटलं मला, तो पुण्याची टुर्नामेंट खेळायची म्हटलं ना मे मध्ये. पुण्यामध्ये टुर्नामेंट खेळणार.
हलकुडे टुर्नामेंट. हलकुडे आहे ना ती.
हळकुडे खेळायला येत आहे का?
मला वाटतं टुर्नामेंटला आपला चेस कट्टा जवळपास म्हणजे रेग्युलर खेळणारे आणि डिस्कस करणारे प्लेयर त्या टुर्नामेंटला भेटतील आपल्याला, चेस कट्टातले.
गेट टुगेदर होईल. डायरेक्टली गेट टुगेदर होईल.
चेस कट्टा गेट टुगेदर इन पुणे.
येस.
कोणाला काय